everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy at TV. In case you're not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe. Just press the subscribe button, as well as turn on the notification bell so that you can get notifications when we upload our videos. Don't also forget to subscribe and join, follow, like our other social media platforms. Of course, you're seeing it right about now. Don't also forget to share this video across your platforms. Enjoy the video. All right, welcome back. Dr. Stephen Akintayo joins me. I was just telling him during the break that he's far older now than that picture we actually shared.
Now you are sounding like I'm old now. I'm a very, very young man.
I also suffer that too, you know. What I'm like, yeah. When they say, "Oh, you look this young," I'm like, "Oh, really?" I've been watching you since I was young. Yeah, so what does that mean? You know, but it's good to have you here again.
Same here.
Good to have you here. We're talking. We'll be using the next few minutes to take a look at. You're saying scaling your business, principles of scaling your business to 10 figures.
Yeah.
Doctor, what does 10 figures mean? I don't understand mathematics now. I don't know. What's the 10 figures?
Well, 10, I mean, some will say 9, some will say 10, but 10 basically is whatever country you operate in, definitely billions now in transactions.
So it will be able to, you'll be like, is it like a millionaire in dollars now or a billionaire in Nigeria?
Well, so when people, I think the concept of billionaire, first of all, should be relative to the country you live in.
Okay.
We're too, used to this Western concept, it has to be benchmarked to America or to US and to UK. And we all know these economies too are not perfect.
You can be a billionaire in Nigeria, but you are not a billionaire in dollar terms. You will just be like a millionaire in dollar terms. Or you're a millionaire in Nigeria, you are like, is there something like a thousandaire in US terms? You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
But
Trust me, I do.
Yes.
But I think we need to get proud of our own currencies, because these are also the segregation and all this. It's a part of the neo-colonial issues anyway.
So you're doing a masterclass for this, scaling your business to get to 10 figures. What inspired that masterclass, and why is it important for entrepreneurs? You've just answered the question around 10 figures. So talk to me about this masterclass, because you're always doing one thing or the other.
I am.
You're not tired?
I'm a restless soul. but honestly, for me, is like I've always argued, starting business was a tough experience for me. As much as I started business when I was on campus in the university, I remember graduating and then wanting to get a job. I printed 100 CVs. I had a cover letter that says, "Don't pay me salary for 6 months until I prove myself." And guess what?
As an incentive.
Yes. I knew, in my mind, I was getting that job. For you to say,
for free,
"Don't pay me for 6 months in your cover letter and just let me work." You won't believe the first place I took my CV to, they told me there's no table and chair.
So you didn't offer to bring yours?
I mean, you could see that even from their face, they were just not ready to give me the job. And I remember the third place I took my CV to, the person said, "But you've done business on your campus. It's important to probably continue from where you stop on campus." I said, "I needed experience." He said, "Look, continue." And that was the last place I ever took my CV to. And so that taught me a big lesson, that if we're going to really change Nigeria and the lifestyle of Nigerians, it's not going to be government. It's the private sector. It's entrepreneurship. During election, we have a way of deceiving ourselves. Oh, what a person in government can do in 1 day, an entrepreneur cannot do it in 10 years. I'm not arguing that. But all of us can be president. All of us can be governors. All of us can be ministers. The real work of governance, I call being in politics or government as a social administrator, right? But you can only have an administrative role over something that has been built. That's why I always argue over the men who built America, how if you check those stories, you realize that America was not built by the government. It was private sector. So for me, we need to begin to invest in encouraging young people. Start a business. If you don't get a job, create one. But how do you create one? We also need to talk to those who have started and are struggling, right? How do you navigate all the nonsense all the bottlenecks? How do we come together? Because until we really have big private sector institutions, like literally private companies that are like Amazon, your Google, your Facebook, your
That
Apple.
have trillions in dollars of market
exactly. Cap. We really don't have a great
budgets
nation
of
yet.
certain countries.
Exactly.
Okay. So who is this masterclass benefiting? You've actually even answered perhaps business people, greenhorns, people that want to scale their businesses.
Absolutely.
Is there any cost attached to this?
Yeah, there's a cost because, I mean, we're having to use a good hotel. We're bringing, in fact, some of our speakers are well known. We've reached out to Dan Locke, Brian Tracy, Les Brown. I mean, so it's something really solid in terms of, and it's global perspective to growing business, because that's also another thing we want to really help our entrepreneurs. Nothing is stopping you from really growing your business globally. Nothing.
Nothing.
That
really.
You started from Nigeria
I mean, you're making it sound easy.
It's not, but
it's
entrepreneurship, what makes entrepreneurship fun is the hustle.
It's the doggedness.
It's the doggedness.
Whether it's Tinubunomics or Trumponomics, we go dig down. We'll come out of it.
Else, what are you doing in entrepreneurship? Real entrepreneurship is audacity. To take up a whole sector and say, I'm a government of my own. I'm going to do something great here.
But that's actually who we are as a people, resilient people. So what you're saying now is that we should continue to do that in our businesses?
We have to. The only thing is we are not finding enough people who are a bit higher, willing to, pull down the rope and pull more people up, provide ladder, right? And that's why I've intentionally positioned myself. Some of these people I'm bringing, even Dr. Cosmos, are people naturally you won't get them
Cosmos
to do this. Yes, you won't get people to get them to do this, right? But somehow, many of them are willing to say, okay, if Stephen is saying I should come, maybe I'm going to try my best to see what I can do.
It's important that you're saying this because even statistically speaking, MSMEs provide about 48% of jobs.
Yes.
But the other thing is that many of our small businesses do not even scale.
They don't.
Some people say, just let me remain like this first, I'm okay.
Yes.
Because of some issues.
Yes.
So I understand what you mean in terms of, can we get out of, those barriers? Can we, those that we can do solo, can we actually, lift ourselves out of it? So that's what this masterclass is for.
Yes, in fact, one of the things we're doing is provide a business council, a Stephen Akintayo business council of some of my mentees over the years who are now doing really well. Because we just need to begin to have some level of help. We see this in churches, right? You see, and Oyedepo say Adebo is his mentor, right? Reverend Sam says, Oyedepo is his mentor. God Mike Labi says, the same thing you see in politics.
So
right?
But politics is Godfather.
Whatever
it is, a mentor. So who is your mentor?
So in business,
who are you mentoring?
And that's why we're angry. You see Nigerians angry. Only politics and churches are growing. But the real missing point is mentorship is lacking in the business space. How many 3 generations of business can you say, okay, there's somebody in their 70s who is mentoring somebody in his 50s, who is mentoring somebody in their 20s?
But don't you see that in the Igbo apprenticeship system?
It is there. It is
and
there.
I'm glad that you're bringing the Dr. Cosmos Maduka because he himself is an example. Many billionaires from the Igbo extraction have that, which that is...
but you know that we haven't developed that. We
need to scale it.
We need to scale it. And we need to even tell a story around it. Americans have a way of really, I tell people, I said, entrepreneurship has to become mainstream. We need to really, the way they hype, I sometimes look at interviews of some of these media with Elon Musk. It's like, you could see even the presenter is like, I'm in front of, right? In Nigeria, it's only when you're in front of politicians you do that. And so even media has a role here. Every conversation is around a minister, a governor, a House of Rep, right? There's no enough attention to say, let's spotlight entrepreneurs. Let's make young people aspire to become entrepreneurs. Instead, we are making young people aspire to become politicians. And there's just, how many people can even be in the Senate? But there's no limit to entrepreneurship. Exactly.
109 senators.
109 senators. America can be the House of Rep. Right? right? So there's a lot.
So can public sector officials also attend?
Absolutely.
And why was Lagos and Abuja chosen?
So
Aren't you partial?
I will argue that I'm even more interested in a lot of public sector leaders, right? Directors. I mean, I lived in Dubai for 3 years before I moved to the US because of our expansion in the US. And when you go to a government parastatal in UAE, it's like you've entered a bank. In fact, when you are done with the transaction, there is a rating stuff to rate to say the person who attended to you.
Did he do well?
Did he do well?
An assessment.
In Nigeria, you wait for 2 hours. Okay, waiting. They worry you. In fact, people they come here 5 days, nobody attend to them. So we need to start running government as an enterprise, government agencies as a business, and developed countries. That's what's happening. You can see what's happening between Donald Trump and Elon Musk and the Dodge, right? It's a whole new awakening to say, look, we're not going to, because you work for the federal government, it's not going to be business as usual. Send us a mail of what exactly you're doing, or we're going to fire you, right? So you see, there has to be that business consciousness, even in government agencies. So I look forward to seeing leaders in government agencies attend, so that we look at how do you really grow that agency. How do you, what is this symbiotic relationship between the private sector and the public sector? How do we come together to really build a great nation?
You can see that flyer on the screen for those of you interested to attend. Please do attend. That's it. Business growth. Scaling your business to 10 figures. I would like to see all of you at the top.
By the way, you have to anchor the event. I'm
Doctor,
sure
don't put me.
Yourself and Shehu are going to
don't put me. Don't put me on the spot right now.
You have to.
We will talk about this later.
We have agreed.
We have not agreed. It's subject to my availability, and you know that. Anyway, now let's move forward. I know that the numbers have been on the screen, so in case you want to attend, please send messages, or you can call those numbers as well as the email address that was on the screen a while ago. My team will continue to do that. What format will the masterclass follow, Doctor? As well as, it's also interesting, I talked about Trumponomics, even though you've answered the question, you know, earlier. I would like you to also take a look at, perhaps give me one biggest financial mistake, because there are a lot of financial mistakes that people make when scaling, and it depends on also the kind of business you're doing. But I just want one biggest financial mistake people make while scaling, while you talk about the formats, the masterclass.
Joined so many questions for me.
You know, because the interview is so fluid, and you've answered a few of my questions while you were talking, so I've got to be attentive to you too.
So the format is beautiful. So day one is physical.
Okay.
And so yes, we're doing day one physical. I think Abuja is Sheraton, Lagos Eco Hotel.
What dates?
So we have 13th, 12th and 13th for Abuja, and 19th and 20th for Abuja. So day one, of March. Day one is physical, and for VIP, we're even going to have a dinner and Q&A master's class where we're going to ask so many questions, and we're going to be so real, right? And day two is virtual, and that's where we're going to have a lot of our international speakers joining us, and it's also going to be, because we don't want to just talk, we also want to hear and offer solutions, and that leads to the financial mistakes. A lot of entrepreneurs basically don't build real assets. I often share with people, I said, if we're not to have been a real estate company such that what we are really doing is real assets, we probably will have packed up by now. You know, because the business is such that you are having real physical asset tied down. So even if you run into trouble, you can sell a few of your assets, you know, and move on. I'll give you an example. I just got the news today. One of our major company account was literally frozen by one mysterious state we don't even operate. You know, later claimed the police commissioner sued affidavit and went to court and froze an account for transaction that did not even happen in Nigeria. And even though it was international in our Dubai operations, there was no dime that came to our account. But they saw affidavit that money came into our company account and they want to freeze it. And for over a year. if we're not to have been a bigger firm
that have diversified.
that has diversified, we literally are out of business. Right? And those are some of the real conversations we want to have. How do you really structure even the finances of you, the founder of the business, of the organization itself, so that it can withstand the real unfortunate... Why we try to fight to have better systems, better laws, right, that support entrepreneurship. It's only in America that you are allowed to fail in business and start all over again. And you just need to go to court and declare bankruptcy and you walk away. And nobody, no debtor can come after you. And you can start again. And some of the big billionaires we talk about today have started 4 times. In Nigeria, the day you have one small issue, is EFCC, they are using to come after you for a civil issue. Police to come after you for a civil issue. For a civil issue. I once told an EFCC official, I said, shame on you. And your chairman, he wasn't, of course, this chairman. I said, shame on you. You have people stealing public funds that you were created to go and deal with. And now you are chasing private individuals that whichever party has an issue should take the person to court, take the organization to court, and not use the institution of government to oppress another. But these are, again, issues we hope we're going to be addressing amongst ourselves. What are the systems you need to put to guide so that your business can still survive in spite of this kind of drama that businesses in Nigeria face?
Okay. For those interested in supporting your foundation, because it's your foundation that is doing this, David Akintayo, are you open to partnerships and sponsorships?
We are. We're open to sponsorship. In fact, we have some slots we're going to be giving NYC corpers who intend to go into entrepreneurship after their NYC. And they will be able to come for free. Yeah, I mean... Sure. We'll give you 10 slots.
Fantastic. Right? So the coppers in that.
You know, as long as they want to go into entrepreneurship.
So if you're interested, just let me know after the show.
We're going to, because what we're doing is that part of what the sponsors are paying will go to cover for a lot of coppers, and you know, and for me, I look forward to one of the major legacy I want to leave in Nigeria is business revolution. I look forward to my 60s, you know, in fact, let me say my 70s and 80s, and I can see millions of people who are running big businesses that will say, you inspired me, to do that, yeah.
So are these the additional packages?
So yeah, people can, and you can, of course, as sponsors, we're doing billboard, we're doing TV adverts, so whoever wants to sponsor have to conclude on time before the billboards go out, the TV and radio adverts.
So they can take anything to sponsor?
So we can mention their names. No, there are different categories of sponsorship, and it also gives you access to your management team and you, the founder, coming for the event.
Do you want to specify like what it entails, or you don't?
You know,
want
they just need to talk to our team. I don't even have.
You don't.
Because there's a
whole
don't
micromanage.
I don't micromanage. There's so much dedication. We have event planner, all of that. Exactly. It's really well structured.
Okay, so that's it on the screen actually. To attend, you contact those numbers and the email that was on the screen.
So if you want to sponsor, just reach out. Want to sponsor? There is sponsorship for 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, and all of that.
And you see that he's graciously giving 10 youth core members access.
We're giving more than 10, just that
your own.
Your own.
Yes, for at least for my area here. So we'd be interested. Doctor, any other thing you want to tell me? You know, because it seems that perhaps we've exhausted things around this business growth. Is there anything, just like you said, that you're a restless person? You know, you're doing this event 12 to 13th?
Yes, 12 to 13th
of March.
For Abuja, and then 19 and 20th for Lagos. Remember, is the
19 and 20th for Lagos.
Yeah, it's the 12th that is physical, the 13th is virtual, and it's also the 19th that is physical in Lagos. And, you know, of course, people can come from all parts of, we're even having people from outside of Nigeria coming for the event physically, actually. So, but my encouragement is to my constituency. First of all, I want every entrepreneur in Nigeria to be proud of themselves.
And give yourself
yes, I think somebody has
pat on the back.
Somebody once argued the same. You know, I think one person said it for politics, but I don't know whether it's Atedo Peter's side. I said it for business. That, you know, when we get to heaven, you know, Nigerian entrepreneurs should have express access to heaven.
Because we've passed through hell.
Because, you know, as an entrepreneur, you've passed through hell.
Yeah.
But my story is a proof that not only can you pass through hell, you can grow globally. I mean, now we're in Dubai, we're in UK, we're in US, we're doing a $200 million expansion in the US and even growing that bigger. We're opening Doha office in April, in Doha as well. And so I'm a proof that you can go through the hell here. So that in countries that things are a lot better, you will just be shining.
You will just be shining.
You know, and we can go global with our businesses. I want to see more business that were grown, that started here in Nigeria, literally become unicorns, not just in Nigeria, but globally. You know, yeah.
And I wish you well. You know,
Thank
as always.
I know. Thank you.
All right, I've been speaking with Dr. Stephen Akintayo, Chairman GTEX Holdings. You've heard it, the Business Growth Masterclass, 12th and 13th of March, here in Abuja, in Lagos, 19th and 20th of March. Contact those numbers right now. Thank you for making it up to this minute, watching the video. Thank you all. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy TV. Like, follow all our other social media platforms where we keep you up to speed with fantastic interviews, as well as markets, personal finance, business, and economy information. This is the best place to be. I'll see you all.